Today, on Open Mic Night of the Living Dead, we present our encore to our Night of the Living Dead episode.
That's almost awkward with the two names like that.
It kind of is a little bit awkward, but I think this is the only episode where that's going to be an issue.
All right, here's the theme song.
Woo!
The creature's creeping right behind you. I hope you finally find a little slice of peace and light. 'Cause it comes crashing down tonight. Welcome to the open mic. When we call your name, you'll die. But there's no need to dread. This is the open mic night of the living dead.
All right, we're back again.
Yay!
So I had a cheeky idea for our episode this week.
As you often do.
You'd said something about talking about zombie movies, and I figured instead of just kind of talking about some, that maybe we could do a zombie movie draft.
I'm excited about this, even though I'm going to be vulnerable here and admit that I don't really get drafts. Is it just like kind of picking people for your team like you did in gym class in middle school?
Yeah, but you're doing all the picking, so you don't even have to be stressed.
Wait, I'm doing all the picking?
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't have to worry about not being picked.
Right.
I don't remember whether I was picked or not, but I imagine that I wasn't more frequently than I was. What about you? I feel like you were probably picked.
I grew up in a very, I grew up in a time with, I don't know, there were a lot of gifted athletes.
Okay.
So even though I could hold my own, I would say I was usually middle of the pack or like top middle.
Top middle. I was probably not any of those things. I remember crying a lot in grade school and middle school, so probably my guess is I was not picked for teams. But if there was a zombie team or a zombie movie team, I'd totally get picked soon. What do you call it when someone is it a top draft pick? Is that, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
About the sports that you watch.
And this is not going to really be much like fantasy sports drafts because there's only two of us and we're picking movies. But before I describe a bit more about that, what we're doing, so we spun Fright Night.
Yes.
For our next regular episode, which will be coming next week. But that means we've got a hole on our Wheel of Horror.
Oh, it does. We didn't fill it.
Right. So right now on the Wheel of Horror, and you need to remind me at the end of the regular episodes when I'm spinning it, I feel like it's nice to list what's available.
What's coming up next, and then people can hope for their favorite of those 12. Do we have 12 or 13 on the wheel?
13.
13 on the wheel. And for now. Okay.
Right now it's... and I shuffle these, so they're not always in the same order, but Child's Play, Carrie, Jaws, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Descent, The Thing, Halloween, Friday the 13th, The Shining, Alien, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Psycho.
Oh, all movies I cannot wait to watch with you again.
And what I'm not going to do is list all of the movies on the feeder wheel.
Oh, please don't.
Because it's very big.
Big wheel.
The big wheel keeps on turning. Let's see what is going to join those other phenomenal movies on the Wheel of Horror.
I'm so excited.
Spinning.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
The Strangers.
Ooh. I just saw an interesting Reddit post about that movie. It was on a thread about the most overrated horror movies. So I think it'll be interesting when that gets spun to watch if we agree with that, as the Reddit poster I saw did.
Unless you want me to veto and spin again.
No. I like that movie. I would like to rewatch it. So I'm looking forward to that one.
All right. So that part's done.
Okay. Now for the draft.
So let me explain real quick.
Please do.
I teamed up with AI on this. I know there's some climate concerns with AI. I would just like to...
Some robot apocalypse concerns with AI.
I use it sparingly.
As do I.
To the best of my ability.
It is a useful tool.
And when I do use it, I withhold drinking the appropriate amount of water. So I try to offset the water that's used for the cooling of the AI by dehydrating myself. So if I sound a little weak today, that could be a factor.
So now we have to worry about AI contributing to kidney stones as well if you get dehydrated.
Yep.
So you can only use it very rarely.
Yep. But I thought of this idea. I'm proud to say AI didn't come up with the idea. I just used AI to make my idea work because, I have rarely, like I tell you, often one idea a month and that's it.
Yeah. No.
I won't do more than that.
How could you? That's just asking too much.
Because then I need to pour the water directly on my brain. Mm-hmm. But I decided to ask AI for like 30 top zombie movies based on Rotten Tomatoes fan scores.
Okay.
Not the critic scores, the fan scores.
Nice.
But to give them to me in a random order and to not give me the scores yet. For the scores to be revealed later.
Okay, so that's the list we have in front of us is 30 zombie movies.
And I don't know for certain if it's literally the top 30, like if you were actually to go into Rotten Tomatoes, but it's 30 of the top zombie movies.
Okay.
Do you want to quickly read through the list? Or not, you can go whatever speed you want.
Sure, and thank you for that. I will say I have not seen all of these movies.
Neither have I. That's fine. We're not gonna pick all the movies.
Okay, cool. So the top 30 zombie movies based on Rotten Tomatoes viewer score as compiled by ChatGPT in no particular order include Shaun of the Dead, Fido, One Cut of the Dead, Zombieland, Night of the Creeps, Wreck, or REC, Dawn of the Dead, 1978, Reanimator, The Battery, Brain Dead, or Dead Alive as it was known in the US, Train to Busan, Night of the Living Dead, 1968, Dawn of the Dead, 2004, Warm Bodies, Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, The Girl with All the Gifts, 28 Days Later, World War Z, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Pontypool, Planet Terror, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 28 Weeks Later, Zombie Honeymoon, Cemetery Man, I Am Legend, The Crazies 2010, and Colin.
And just so you know, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie is also known as The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, which I've seen it as that. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen it pop up a couple of times under that name and not Let Sleeping Corpses Lie.
I haven't seen it either.
So I was thinking, we could pick like 5 movies, 6 movies each, and we go back and forth. And at the end, I will have AI reveal the Rotten Tomatoes fan scores, and we'll see who came out on top.
All right, cool.
When I say 5 or 6, I would like to full transparency. And if I'm wrong about this, it's up to you. But there's 2 on here that I remember seeing in the 90%. And that is Train to Busan and Night of the Living Dead, our movie of the hour. And I thought maybe each of us could start with one of those.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, because both of those would certainly be towards the top of my list. So,
and then we can each pick 5 after that.
Cool. So
and we can kind of talk about them because we're gonna pick ones that we've watched.
Of course. Just as a point of interest, I quickly crossed off the ones I haven't seen, and there's 11 of them. So I have seen 19 of these top 30 zombie movies. I think. I'm not sure. Did we see Night of the Creeps? Or is it on our list? Okay.
It's one of those ones that if I see it go on sale, I might just buy it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I've seen, that was one I wasn't sure. But some of these other ones, I didn't even know Pontypool was a zombie movie because I haven't watched it. And I try to stay away from descriptions of movies that I know I want to see someday, but I haven't yet seen because some movies in our genre can be so spoiled if you know too much. And so I know Pontypool's on the list, and I just have never even. But now I know it's a zombie movie. Hopefully that doesn't ruin anything for me. But yeah, I have seen 19 of these 30. What about you? I'm watching you check them off quickly, or maybe not as quickly as I was.
Of all time, there's a couple that I haven't seen for like 10 years, but
Okay, fair.
the ones I'm sure I've absolutely never seen. There's 7
Wow.
that I've absolutely never seen.
And I've got 11. That makes sense, though, because you do tend to watch more movies than I do. Just real quick before we start our picks, Day of the Dead and Land of the Dead, I often have a hard time with the titles of these. Dawn of the Dead 2004 is the one in the mall, right?
Yep.
With the pregnant chick. And then Day of the Dead, is that from that time period, or are we talking? No, Day of the Dead
I'm guessing that is 1985.
Oh, military complex.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I know. And then Land of the Dead, is that the one that comes after the new?
No, Land of the Dead would. Well, I can't remember exactly when it came out, and I'm sorry.
How dare you?
But I think that's the one with Dennis Hopper in it and John Leguizamo. I actually watched it a few months ago.
Oh, 2005.
Yeah, so that's Land of the Dead.
Oh, Asia Argento was in Land of the Dead. I didn't remember that. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. All those of the Dead movies, I get confused sometimes, so I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. So, I'm going to flip the pick. Flip the pick. Heads is the side with the writing on it, with the tortoise on it.
Okay.
Are you calling tortoise or blank?
Tortoise, obviously.
And if you're right, you get to pick first.
Okay, cool.
And you're going to pick from Train to Busan or Night of the Living Dead.
Yes. Okay, fine.
You pick.
I am going to pick Train to Busan.
And I'm going to keep the cap off my highlighter so it doesn't keep making that noise.
And just so is the goal here to just pick your favorite or favorites, or is it to pick the one you think is going to score the highest?
I mean, probably a little bit of both. I mean, I'm aiming to win, but I really don't have a great sense of what they are, so I'm going to be going based on what I like, what I think is the best.
Yeah, I don't care about winning, so I'm just going to go with what I would pick myself out of these things for, like, if those were the movies I needed to choose for my own personal zombie movie marathon. And I think it's interesting, actually, those two movies, real quick, you know, Night of the Living Dead, the original, as we just spent over an hour discussing in the last episode, is iconic and brilliant and a great watch and something I love. But our 13-year-old, for example, would probably be bored out of her skull. And so Train to Busan for her would probably be an easy pick there. And I wonder, in terms of who is leaving ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, what the tendency will be. So that'll be interesting.
And before we start picking, let's just take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're back.
Here we are.
And we're going to start the draft now. I have Night of the Living Dead. Rachel has Train to Busan, and it is your pick. We're going to pick 5.
5 total or 5 more?
5 each.
5 each.
More.
Okay.
We'll have 6 total.
We'll have 6 total. Thank you. I just wanted to keep that in mind. And obviously, I guess maybe not obviously, but obvious to me, Dead Alive, Brain Dead, Peter Jackson. This was another movie I used to show people in college on my tiny TV with the built-in VCR, particularly because Lord of the Rings came out while I was in college. And this movie, Dead Alive, 1991, if I'm not mistaken, it might be 89. But this movie, if you've never seen it, if you watch this movie after having seen all of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, you're going to be like, why did they give that guy Lord of the Rings? Because it is in such a completely different genre. Like many great filmmakers, Jackson started out in the horror area of the video store back then. He also had a couple of other films before this, Meet the Feebles and Bad Taste was another one. But Dead Alive is one of the goriest movies ever, supposedly, but it includes a zombie baby and an ass-kicking priest.
Zombie baby.
And is one of my favorite movies of all time. So easy pick for me. Number 2 is Dead Alive.
Well, my first real pick is going to be Shaun of the Dead.
That was my only other almost. Fine.
It's so good. It came out in, the early 2000s-ish? Mm-hmm. And what's the guy's name?
Simon Pegg?
Yes, thank you.
Or Nick Frost.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost with Edgar Wright directing.
Right, Edgar Wright, another director who did horror and things like that, but then went on to do some crazy cool mainstream stuff.
Yeah, and he's got the new Running Man movie coming out next.
I am so excited.
But yeah, it's a perfect blend of comedy and horror, which is hard to pull off because you don't
a zombie comedy.
Sure. Because you don't want the horror getting in the way of your comedy or the comedy getting in the way of your horror. And he toes that line perfectly. It's pretty classic, I would say. And I've had the opportunity to watch that a couple times in the last couple of years and love it every time. What's your next pick?
This is so hard. Do I go classic? Do I go modern? Do I go how it made me feel the first time I watched it? I can't decide, but I guess I'm going to go with 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later, which I think marks another shift in the zombie film pantheon. Fast zombies for the first time, more or less, at least in mainstream zombie movies, right? The idea that, Night of the Living Dead zombies, they're shambling, they're shuffling, they walk real slow, they are persistent, they will continue beyond what you think they should. But 28 Days Later, oh man, and that movie, which we just watched recently, so it's fresh in my mind. I remember when I watched it for the first time 20 years ago when it came out, being so deeply impressed as a 22, 23-year-old at how the film explored the inhumanity of humans and how, the zombies were dangerous, but other humans were just as dangerous. And I think a lot of zombie movies do this. The Walking Dead series all do this a lot, right? Like the humans who remain are often even more dangerous than the flesh-eating zombies. And that, of course, is also in Night of the Living Dead from 1968. But 28 Days Later really brought that to a new generation. So, yeah, that's my next pick.
Two things of note before I make my next pick. One, I've already messed up my highlighting.
Nice.
I colored, I've got different colored highlighters, and I highlighted Shaun of the Dead in your color. But luckily, it was lighter than my color, so now it's double highlighted. And second, do you remember, I meant to ask you when we were talking about the movies we haven't watched, we did watch The Battery, if you crossed that off.
I did cross it off. I didn't remember watching it. What?
That was that one with those two guys. I think we had just come back from a trip and we watched it, and it was like two guys. It was like a pretty indie film. It was pretty good.
Oh, baseball.
The baseball.
They played baseball. It was super indie, so it was like, I do remember that. That's right.
I thought you might have crossed that off.
I did cross it off, but I had forgotten. It probably is not going to make my draft, but I would say if you haven't seen The Battery and you're looking and you like zombie movies and you like indie movies, I remember really enjoying that.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah, it was really a really neat. The acting was really, really good, if I remember correctly. What did I rate it? That I can't remember. Hold on. Did we watch? We must have watched that since I started doing ratings. Oh, I logged it. Yeah, I liked it a little more than usual, but nothing special. I gave it a 3 out of 5. So definitely worth it if you like zombie and independent movies.
I've let the cat in.
Well, okay.
We now have both cats and a
here.
dog in the studio.
Tina hasn't noticed Morrigan yet. They've just noticed each other.
We'll keep you updated.
They're touching noses. This could go badly or wonderfully. Okay, they've walked away. Great. So what's your next pick?
I'm going to go with the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Lovely.
And I think I'm going to pick that. That was a zombie movie that I saw. I would say it was probably one of the first zombie movies I ever watched. Because I would have been 21 or so when it came out. And I think I saw it pretty shortly after it came out. I was already watching plenty of horror movies then, but plenty of the horror movies I was watching had already come out. So there weren't, I wish I could remember if I saw this in the theater or not. There's a chance that I did, but either way, it just high impact.
Yes.
Well, and it came out post 28 Days Later. So you had some more rambunctious zombies in this, taking the lead from 28 Days Later. And listen, speaking of 28 Days Later, I meant to mention when you were giving your speech, I don't want to see a lot of comments about it not being a zombie movie. I know that that's an opinion, and if we get to that movie on our wheel someday, we can flesh out that debate.
Flesh out.
Yeah. Brain out. Flesh out with our brains out.
I didn't realize that some people don't think that that's a zombie movie.
No, it's like a virus movie.
But...
Well, we can't do it today.
Okay, sorry. That's cool. I can't wait to have that discussion.
So, what were you going to say about Dawn of the Dead? Directed by Zack Snyder.
Yep.
Doesn't include a single superhero.
Not a one. There are two pretty intense things I remember about that movie. And I didn't see it in theaters, but I did rent it from Blockbuster. So I saw it pretty shortly after it came out. There's a child zombie, which is something that I hadn't seen before. Well, except for, I guess, the zombie baby in Dead Alive. But that is not as realistic as this was. And then the pregnant woman in the mall. And so I still, when I think of that movie, those are the two things that really come to mind, that kind of hitting harder when I first saw it because of how raw it was and how scary it was to think of kind of some of those more vulnerable things. Since then, we have had Walking Dead, which has touched on every situation in that scenario. And so, but back when it came out, again, the impact it had, yeah, great choice, great pick.
And plus, I love malls. I think just because I'm of that generation, I grew up in the mall. We used to be able to, by the time I was in middle school, we could meet our friends there. Parents drop us off. Our mall was kind of near the cinema, so a lot of times we would go to the mall and then walk across the street, go see a movie. Made for a heck of an evening. My
first job was at the mall, like I think a lot of people who were teenagers in the 90s, so I definitely enjoyed working at the mall. And then I had a few other jobs at the mall, too. Worked at a few malls over the course of my early careers.
Maybe that's the vibe you give off. Maybe that's why I fell in love.
Aw. Wait, did you just call me a mall rat?
I mean, I think the mall rats are the people who hang out there. I think I'm the mall rat.
Oh, you're the mall rat and I'm the mall employee.
Yeah, you're the who's the boss of rats?
I don't know.
That's you.
Me? I'm the boss rat?
Well... Not the boss rat, because you would have had bosses.
Oh, I had so many bosses.
I don't know. You're the one who provides the cheese. You're the cheese lady, and I'm the mall rat.
All right, it's been decided. Fantastic. It's my turn, isn't it?
Sure is.
Oh, man, such a tough decision. And I only have 3 more spots left. Okay, I'm going to go a little crazy here. I'm going to go with The Girl with All the Gifts, which I don't think you've seen.
I have not. I've seen it streaming in places, but I've not watched it. I didn't know you'd seen that movie.
I did. It was a movie I watched on my own one day randomly.
Maybe we discussed this.
We might have discussed it, and I won't give away too much, but I will say, because I think part of what I loved was that it subverted expectations, which, as you know, is a big deal for me. I like things that surprise me, and especially with zombie movies. I think this came out just a couple years ago. If I'm not mistaken, I liked this movie so much, I subsequently read the book and the sequel to the book. I do not think they made a movie of the sequel. It was actually a prequel, if I remember correctly. And I think that's okay. The book and the movie were pretty different, but what they both did was take a new perspective on zombies, one that I haven't seen before or after, and includes children, which is always an interesting take. Because especially a lot of these early zombie movies, I don't think we see a lot of kids, even though there would be a lot of kids in an actual zombie situation. We do not see a lot of them on screen until the subgenre has developed a little bit. Although, of course, in Night of the Living Dead, you do have a kid who ends up biting her mom. So I guess we do see them, but a real deep exploration in that of The Girl with All the Gifts.
Excellent. I'll check it out sometime. For my 4th movie, I'm having a harder time because now there's a bunch that I love. I'm going to go. It's kind of weird. The Autopsy of Jane Doe's on here. Is that a zombie movie?
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I mean,
That might be a bit of a hiccup.
I guess it is a zombie movie.
We don't want to give anything away for people who
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
We can't.
But it does involve someone who still has life to them that is supposedly dead.
Yes.
And in that sense,
The line between life and death is blurred.
it's a zombie.
It is, but it doesn't feel like a zombie movie.
Nobody would ever call it a zombie movie.
No, I don't think so either.
So I was thinking of picking it, but I think I'm going to eliminate it from our list. But I bet it's actually pretty high on the tomato score.
Agreed.
So instead of being sneaky, look at me. Look at what a good person I'm being. I think I'm going to go with... Dun, dun, dun. It's so hard.
It's really difficult.
I really like Wreck.
Okay.
I'm going to go
Dang
Wreck.
it. That was my next pick. That's okay. I can go with others.
That one was... I'd heard about it in a few places, and once it came up streaming, I'd heard about it enough that I was really interested. I knew it was from the found footage era. I want to say 2009-ish it came out, something like that. It's a Spanish film, right? Is it Spain Spanish?
It's from Spain. It's Spain Spanish. I just saw a review of this the other day, or a commentary on this the other day, that it is this person thought it was an almost perfect movie, and I don't know if I would go that far, but I do remember giving it a really high rating. The pacing is really good, if I remember correctly. And found footage is not my favorite subgenre, but this movie is so good you almost forget that it's like, I don't even know how to explain. They do a really good job. It's beautifully, beautifully done.
Yeah, and there are not many like zombie adjacent kind of films in the found footage department either.
Not at all.
There is a George Romero, one of the Dead movies, one of the later Dead movies I watched is kind of a found footage, but it's not nearly as good as Wreck.
That was 2007, by the way. You were close.
2007. Diary of the Dead is the one I'm thinking of. It's a found footage Romero zombie movie, which was all right, but Wreck certainly takes the trophy home for zombie found footage. Basically takes place in one apartment building. Your protagonist is a newscaster, a journalist, TV journalist. What do you call them?
Yep, that's right. Journalist.
And she's doing basically a show to show what different jobs there are that happen at night, basically, right?
I don't even remember that detail.
And she's basically shadowing the fire department.
Right.
The fire department / EMTs, and they get this call to this building, and chaos is afoot in the building, or slightly afoot, and becomes more afoot. So many feet. I would say a feet.
Yeah, there's much a feat.
And yeah, the building gets sealed off early on, and I would just recommend seeing it if you like zombie movies or found footage movies, or, it's in Spanish. You're going to do the subtitles, but some of those movies are the best.
Or puedes practicar tu español.
Yeah.
You could also practice your Spanish. Come on.
This isn't Duolingo podcast.
Okay, fine. All right, my turn. My turn. And now I only have 2 spots left. I really was going to pick Wreck. So instead, I'm going to pick Cemetery Man.
Ooh, I love that movie.
Which is a bit of again, I'm going with things that I want people to watch if they haven't watched, I think, is where I'm starting to go. And things that, because again, yes, it's a zombie movie, but it's also a love story. Also, it's very surreal, kind of part of the surrealist grouping of movies, I think. Really beautiful music. And what is the original name? Do you remember?
De la Morte de la...
Della Morte della More? Della More della Morte? We've seen it twice recently.
Yeah, both times we saw it, it had the English title, though.
Yeah.
I actually, when we were at the last time when we were in Vegas in October 2024 for Joe Bob for the Jamboree, I actually picked up a really awesome collector's edition of this movie on 4K at the Severin booth.
Right.
I haven't actually had a chance to watch it yet, but
Yeah, the Cemetery Man Della Morte Dell'Amore, 1994, and really fun, interesting, different kind of movie that I was surprised I hadn't seen. It feels like the kind of movie I would have loved to watch during college, and I'm surprised I didn't find it back then. It would have been on my list of other things to show underclassmen, like Dead Alive and Requiem for a Dream. It would have been on there.
Maybe we'll get to it at some point, I hope, because it actually has a really interesting background to what it was derived from and how it came to be. So it's a little bit of an odd one. What's that guy's name? Nyogi?
Miyagi?
Nyagi. He always says is no.
Yes.
Something like that. I love that movie. Good pick.
Yeah, Rupert Everett, early Rupert Everett vehicle.
I am going to play a bit of a wild card because I think it might be rated high. And like I said before, I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, you are.
But I actually also really love this movie. We started it and did not finish it, and you really need to finish it.
What?
Yeah, that's a rare occurrence.
What movie is this?
One Cut of the Dead.
Oh, okay. We started that a long time ago. Why did we stop?
Because you were being grouchy, mostly.
That happens sometimes. I wasn't feeling it. That's a Japanese movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. Japanese movie, One Cut.
Sort of.
Okay.
I can't. You didn't get to the
good part?
You didn't. Well, I mean, you didn't get to the point. We stopped maybe after like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember starting it and it just
maybe
didn't work for me.
Maybe that'll be the next movie we watch.
Okay, cool. I'm into it.
And since you haven't seen it, especially, I'm not going to say a lot about it, but it's a Japanese zombie film about people trying to make an independent movie. And I think they're trying to, it's been a while since I actually have seen it, but I think they're trying to make a zombie movie.
Oh, cool.
And that's all I'll say. But It's really good. Really well done. I think it was made, if I'm correct, which I usually am, as Rachel will tell you, but sometimes, just like one idea a month, one mistake a month. We're not sure yet. I haven't tallied up all the facts that I've declared this month.
Fair, yeah.
I have to go through them at the end of the month to tally up the mistakes.
I have a note on my phone, so if you need help.
Great.
Yeah.
And I think it was made by film students.
Awesome.
Which is even cooler. And yeah, it's fantastic. Check it out. I think it's on, last time I knew it was on Shudder, so.
All right, cool.
What is your final pick?
Oh man, what's left? I'm stuck on this one. You know what? I think I'm gonna snag Dawn of the Dead 1978.
Ripped out of me fingertips.
Well, and I'll see what you pick for your last pick, and then I'll tell you what my seventh movie would have been if it's not the next one that you pick. But Dawn of the Dead 1978, another mall film, so sorry to grab it out from under you. But it has a lot of the things that I like about the older zombie movies. The acting is really good. The character development, you really care about these characters, and they're encountering.
That's why they called them characters.
It is not. It is spelled completely differently. The etymology of those words is not related. Maybe it is, but I don't think so.
I guess that's my mistake this month.
We got it on microphone. Dawn of the Dead, 1978, in a mall, dealing with zombies in a mall, which we've seen many times and in many ways since then. But this one, a lot of zombie movies also deal with consumerism and especially consumerism and capitalism and the American consumer. So particularly, zombie movies are a really great way to get a read on what is important to people in the particular zeitgeist of the moment when they were made, right? So late 70s, dealing with people going to the mall and shopping and buying things and doing things blindly. And with lots of funny moments. And I just remember really caring a lot about the leads in this. And I like the ending, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I really like this movie too. And there was a good chance that was going to be my final pick.
Beat you to it.
There are a lot of great movies on here still left. A lot of movies that I really like. And I am playing to win. So, well, and I love this movie. It actually is heavier on the comedy, I would say, than the horror. But the horror is intense. But I also want to try to guess what your 7th movie was, because I don't think it's this.
Okay.
Zombieland.
Oh, so my guess for what you were about to say was between Zombieland and my 7th pick.
Reanimator.
Yes.
Nice.
So I thought you were going to pick Zombieland or Reanimator, and I was going to pick Reanimator for my 7th. So why don't you go on Zombieland, and then we can both talk about Reanimator.
I mean, what's there to say?
True story.
It's Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg, is that his name?
Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson, and I always get her. I always want to call her Emma Watson, but I know it's not that. I know Emma Watson is Hermione. Emma. Oh, what is her name? It's awful.
Well, now that you've blocked it from my brain, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone and Little Miss Sunshine girl.
Yeah.
What's
Abigail Breslin.
Yes, Abigail Breslin. Sorry. It starts out with Jesse Eisenberg, who has survived sort of the beginning of a zombie apocalypse, and he's created all these rules for himself for survival, like cardio. If you keep your cardio up, you can outrun the zombie horde. And he slowly comes across other survivors who share in the desire to survive, but there's certainly plenty of interpersonal conflict, as there typically is between humans and how they think survival would best be achieved.
Yeah, this one was 5 years after Shaun of the Dead. Zombieland was 2009. Shaun of the Dead was 2004. But they kind of inhabit a similar space in my mind in terms of taking a lot of the zombie tropes and playing around with them and being cute and funny. And that's another favorite for sure. And if you're playing to win, as you are, probably a good choice over Reanimator, which is great.
Yeah, and I feel kind of bad we don't have Reanimator on here, but Zombieland is a great movie.
But Reanimator also is not what I would usually call a zombie movie. Reanimator is more of a mad scientist movie.
Yes.
Right? And
yeah, it's not a typical zombie movie either.
I would actually put it closer. I think it is a zombie movie only because there is a line between life and death. But yeah, Reanimator 1985, directed by Stuart Gordon with an amazing cast, including Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, who did a lot of other Stuart Gordon movies that we really like. Such a fun movie, such a classic. And if it is on the list that is presented to me, I would pick it even though it's not necessarily a zombie movie.
Although there is some reanimation, which you could argue kind of treads that line. But I agree with you, it is not a zombie movie in the traditional sense.
Right. And I think we've talked a little bit about this in the main episode, but, zombies have changed a lot over the cinematic years, right? And what is a zombie? Well, we don't have to go deep into that, but Reanimator is a great movie. And if you were stuck on a desert island with 7 DVDs and a DVD player and maybe like a solar power production, I don't know how you would watch them on a desert island.
Well, and we are running slightly long for a Encore episode, but that's okay. I've been having fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to talk about.
But we've got a little bit more to do. I'm now going to find out what the scores are and what the actual ranking of this list of 30 was.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We paused. I don't even need to say it. You wouldn't have noticed, but you would have noticed because we did math, and there's no way we did it that quickly.
Right.
So for all you kids listening, you got to make sure that you're double checking what AI is giving you, because at the end of the day, it only gave me like 4 tomato scores. One of them was not the audience fan score, and it gave me a bunch of excuses why it couldn't do all the things that we had asked it. So we went through and we found out what the fan scores were for each of our movies. Should we go back and forth one movie at a time of ours?
Sure, we can do that. I don't remember the order that we did them in necessarily.
That's okay.
Okay.
I will start with Night of the Living Dead at 95%.
Train to Busan, 89%.
Shaun of the Dead, 92%.
Brain Dead or Dead Alive, 86%.
Dawn of the Dead 2004, because Shaun of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead sound kind of the same.
They do.
It's almost like they rhyme. Dawn of the Dead 2004, 77%.
28 Days Later, 85%.
Wreck, 82%.
The Girl with All the Gifts, 67%.
One Cut of the Dead, 84%.
Dawn of the Dead, 1978, 90%.
I say One Cut of the Dead?
I think you did.
How many do you have left?
I have one left.
Oh, yeah. I meant to say that One Cut of the Dead, AI gave us the critic score, which was 100%. But yeah, like I said, 84%. So my last movie, Zombieland, was 86%.
And Cemetery Man, 78%.
So we'll do total and average.
Okay.
So total of all your percentages added together, which is kind of silly. That's not like a thing you'd normally do in like any sort of statistic. But what do you got?
I have 495.
516.
Yeah.
And my average was 86%.
And mine's 82.5.
Either way, we've got some pretty strong teams.
We do have some pretty strong teams, and you did win, so I hope you feel happy about that.
I did.
Because I don't care.
Isn't it fun to be competitive?
I don't know. I'm the only one in our family that's not.
I know, she sucks the fun out of it, doesn't she,
I don't
everyone?
suck the fun. I don't like it when people lose and feel bad. So I just feel bad for people that lose.
I wouldn't feel that bad if I lost, but I am happy that I won.
I bet.
Well, that was fun and different, I think. Did you enjoy that?
I did, and I like having this chance to talk about other movies. I love doing the deep dives, but we also watch a lot of movies, and it's fun to talk about them with one another and potentially with our listeners if they decide to leave comments on the social medias.
And where could they find us on social media?
You can find us on social media at OMNLD Pod. And you can find us there at Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok,
Twitter?
Oh, Twitter/X,
Right.
and Blue Sky. So OMNLD Pod on any of those platforms.
Like Open Mic Night Living Dead Pod.
Yes. And you can also find us, find this podcast itself if you were looking for it at
I think they found it.
I think they did find it. Actually, never mind. You know where to find it. But if you look up OMNLD Pod, you should be able to find it. We are now available on all of your big podcast platforms, and yeah, and on social media. We would love some comments. We would love to hear what people have to say. And also, if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, I hear that helps it get to more people. So I know we've waited a few episodes to start asking for that, but we are having a lot of fun and would love to share it with people who might enjoy it, whether that be the horror movies or the music or both.
And wherever you do listen to it, be sure to follow because that helps too. Mm-hmm. And now we're at the really fun part of every Encore episode.
Yes.
The demo portion.
Yes.
Coming up next is Rachel's song, Night of the Living Dead.
Just a quiet evening stroll, son and daughter dutiful. Misplaced prayers will get you far. Good job running for that car. Searching for the safest place. In the distance there's the face of someone who we all know should be buried down below. We've got one last night to keep ourselves alive. Now see the scattered souls arise. The night of the living dead. Simple days are far behind. Final words haunting your mind. Ghouls that follow night and day. Like a lantern in the night, in the darkness shines the light of humanity's last stand. I'm just kidding, we're all damned. We've got one last night of the living dead. Danger comes from every side. Seems we might just turn the tide. Till bad luck and human pride send us all to our demise. Fleeting hope, a hero's dream. He might survive, or so it seems, until we learn just one last thing: the good guys don't always win. We've got one last night to keep ourselves alive. Now see the scattered souls arise, the night of the living dead. We've got one last night to keep ourselves alive. Now see the scattered souls arise, the night of the living dead.
That's another Encore episode in the bag, baby.
In the bag? In the books? In the book bag.
In the book bag. It's a back sack.
Ooh.
Back sack.
I don't know why that hit so hard, but it did. Oh my goodness.
Because I was so confident. You should call it that. Who do I notify?
And when we're thinking about merch.
Send a letter to LL Bean. Could I get a monogram back sack?
Coming soon to our merch shop. Open my Night of the Living Dead back sack.
I gotta go.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.